let me not say I know because I've not experienced it, but I'm speaking based on my experience as a parent. It takes courage, it takes grit, it takes audacity. Okay, let me invite her up again. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please keep the claps. Yay! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, Eniola. Yes, welcome, brave Eniola. Brave, courageous, audacious Eniola.
Thank you.
Because trust me, it's not a walk in the park. It's not everyone that, would even sit to tell this kind of story, putting it together in a book. So, honestly, I salute you.
Thank you.
Welcome,
Thank you.
welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so we are just going to, I want to paste quickly details on how you can get her book, just so you can look through that in preparation, right? So my first question to you today, Eniola, is what inspired you to write this book? The
Okay.
reason why I'm asking this is because I don't know, but a lot of people wouldn't even want to share their story, right? They would sit somewhere in a corner and be asking questions. Why me? Why do I have to be the one going through all of this? Of all the humans on the face of the earth, why me? What inspired you to write this book? Take it away.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much to my community. I can see my friends. My mom is also on the call.
Wow,
Thank you so much.
mommy.
Yes, she's the one that is Grace.
Okay.
Thank you so much for this
Thank you, mom.
opportunity, Elizabeth, and the whole SAW team. So,
Yes.
what inspired me to write this book? For a
Mm-hmm.
few years now, I've been not, you just kind of look everywhere, and I just felt like for the past few years, I've just been bombarded or surrounded with parents going through this journey. Anywhere
Wow.
I go, I see children struggling. Anywhere I turn in the community, you go out, school, church, you see children struggling and parents also struggling. But
Wow.
I just did not know how to help them because myself, I was also looking for help. But sometime last year, my son turned 10 in December last year.
Okay.
Before his birthday, a few months before his birthday, I was really reflecting on his journey. You know how it is when your children are about to turn a milestone birthday and you are reflecting on their journey. So I
Yeah.
was reflecting on the journey, and I remember that, especially at the beginning,
Okay.
I kept a journal of all his developmental delays and the challenges we had, especially
Wow.
in the area of speaking. So as I was going through those journals, going through that journal, I was just reflecting and just looking at where he is right now.
Hmm.
I kept that journal in the hope that when he turns like a milestone birthday, I'll give it to him. But there was just something that came over me that just made me feel like this story needed to be made public.
Hmm.
Of course, I was hesitant. I was like, this is really private
Yeah.
information. How am I
Yeah.
going to make this? Like, I'd never desired to write a book before. It wasn't on my 2024 bucket list, but I
Wow.
couldn't shake it off.
Hmm.
So I decided, okay, let me consider it. Let me see
Hmm.
what I can do. If this is the quota that I can give back to support people, while me, I'm also still trying to make sense of my reality.
Yeah.
And this is something I could do. So that was really how the inspiration came. And here
Wow.
we are now. The book was published on the 15th of December, and so much has happened between then and now. And I'm
Wow.
really grateful for the impact that the book will continue
Congratulations.
to make.
Congratulations. Honestly, do you know the part that struck me? You said you kept a journal and you had, the desire to give it to him when he turns 10. That's just intentionality. Like, you, as in, it's not. And looking back, there are even some of those things that if you hadn't documented, you wouldn't have remembered.
No way.
And it's an incredible gift to him because it just shows your son how much he has grown,
Yep.
how he has been able to triumph and thrive through the years. 10 years, my God, is no is no joke. Is no joke. And your heart, you said that you discovered that other parents were going through the same issue and trying to navigate. Some other person would have said, I'm also going through, I don't care, I'm also going through the same thing, so the same issue. So let's just, roll with this on our own by ourselves. But they had to really share and pour out, like you said, who writes about such a personal such a personal issue? Trust me, it's really personal. It's not everybody that wants to put themselves out there. So I really salute you,
Thank
and I say congratulations. Well
you.
done. See where we are today. Yes, yes, yes. Keep your comments coming in. Okay, so the next question that I have is, did fear try to stop you when you start writing this book, especially because it's your first? Like you said, you never thought of being an author, but did fear try to stop you? Sometimes when you're trying to do something that is beyond, not really beyond your capacity, but like something you're trying to do for a first time, those questions keep coming. Are you sure you can do this? The doubts, the negative comments and all of that. So did fear try to stop you, and what did you do?
Hmm.
How did you overcome
I
that?
think I
Yeah.
had fear on different levels.
Okay.
First level was fear of not I've never written a book before.
Okay.
Where do I start from? And
Wow.
the burden was so strong that I needed to turn around the book
Hmm.
to coincide with his 10-year-old birthday, which was just a few months. So I was like, this
Wow.
is such a Herculean task.
Yeah.
How can I achieve this? So that was the first fear. The second
Okay.
fear was the fear of vulnerability, because up until quite recently, a number of people in my family and among my friends did not even know about my journey, because
Wow.
in a way I would say that I was hiding, not hiding to hide, but hiding to focus on my children and to get the knowledge and the support that they needed. So it was the
Yeah.
fear of that vulnerability of, now I'm not going to have to come out in the open to let everybody know what my family has been going through. Then the other dimension of fear that I had to overcome was the fear of being judged, because one thing I really wanted to present in the story
Yeah.
was the actual true fact of everything that happened, both the good, the bad, and the ugly. I
Wow.
was not allowed to sugarcoat anything. So the fear of being judged, that people are going to read our errors, read our mistakes, and judge some of our parenting choices. So it was
Yeah.
fear on those three levels. But
Okay.
eventually, I would say that that fear has disappeared. It hasn't. Even now that the book is out, I would say that that fear has disappeared. But I think I was
Yeah.
able to overcome it, by this community. So by
Wow.
mentioning to my friends, I mentioned to close family members, and also gaining consent for my mom, my husband, my
Hmm.
family, my close family, because it's
Yeah.
everybody's story one way or the other, and every single person encouraged me, so
Wow.
that kind of helped me, to continue and try and make sense of how this thing was going to become a reality. So that
Wow.
was I definitely had to overcome fear.
My goodness. The support that you had from your family alone,
Yeah.
trust me, that was enough fire, beneath your wings. And sometimes fear would always, even if you've achieved great milestones in the past, fear would always, come with the words that you can't do this.
Yeah.
It's not good enough. You can't overcome this. You can't reach this. But people that really achieved great feats, there's a common thread. They will tell you that at some point they felt fear, but they just kept moving. Like courage is not the absence of fear. So
Exactly.
they just kept moving, they kept pressing, they kept pushing themselves. And they look back and they're like, wow, how far? How did I come this far? And they're able to. So I really what's just failed me, trust me, you being here alone is just proof. And there's something you said about the soul community that it really helped you. I didn't even know this part of your story until you shared on the group that
Yeah.
you were raising neurodivergent children, and it didn't really hit until I decided to do this live Q&A. I think the messages I sent to you, and at some point I really got teary because I'm like, how does a mother share deep such personal experiences with the world? No, no, no. It's not everybody that would have that courage to do such a thing. And I really commend you for that. Thank you, mommy. I know you're watching and listening. Thank you to your husband. Thank you to everyone, your friends, everyone that supported Eniola. God bless you, because so many mothers are going to find relief they will know that they are not alone just because you encouraged her to write this story, A Champion Speaks. God bless you. The next is what gave you courage and audacity to write this book. I think you've actually answered, a part of that. The support that you had from your family alone. Sometimes it's something to have a dream or a goal that you want to accomplish. And it's something to have family, friends, and those around you support you. Sometimes if you don't get support from your closest circle,
Mm.
it's there's a sort of discouragement that comes. You might not be able to really say it that I'm expecting so much from, sometimes. But when that support is there, they're just like, keep going, as in we are behind you, you can achieve anything. It just gives you that push that you need. Exactly.
Yes.
Someone said to be deep rooted with strength. I that is absolutely, I mean, that is perfectly written. Yeah, so the next is, did you
Let me
feel shame? Okay.
let me just
Come
talk
in.
a bit about the courage, because
Okay,
it will
okay,
be a
okay.
disservice if I don't mention how the SAW community really really
Okay.
contributed to my
Yeah,
whole journey.
yeah.
So when I mentioned this idea to a few friends, I reconnected with one of my friends, Sharon. She was the
Okay.
one I don't even know how I had the boldness to tell her, because I'd not spoken to her in years. But I just mentioned to her that Sharon, oh, I want to write a story about, I want to write a book and about my children. It was even at that point I was telling her about our journey. She was just looking
Well,
at me, staring at me, not, trying to
you
understand
know,
this big information I've dropped on her laps. Then she told me that she was going to recommend a community to me that would help me, since this is my first time and things like that. So she
okay.
connected me to the SAW community and I was added to the WhatsApp group.
Wow.
Then I was sent a lot of videos, those videos that Ugo and everybody did. And I
Yeah.
remember one of those videos, she mentioned that she sensed that there was a divine mandate for
Yes.
a lot of authors to write, a lot of people to write
Yes.
books. And she
Yes.
also said something which really stood out, that if we choose not to partner with God, that God will raise someone else to
Yes.
do the work. And that thing
Yes.
created holy fear in me, that
Wow.
Eniola, with everything God has done for your family, are you now not going to do this thing? So those two things I held on to, and I just started finding information. And the SAW community kind of gave me the whole blueprints I needed in terms of what I needed to do, develop the manuscript, get the cover,
Yes.
design, book promotion. I learned so fast in, in 3 months. So I'm really, really grateful for this community. And I just, all through the time I was writing the book, I had this image of a struggling parent. So that
Wow.
image did not leave me for a very long time.
Yes.
So I just kept going. I just kept going. And plus, with the support from my family and my friends, that was what really gave me the courage and the audacity to not give up.
Hmm. Wow. Wow. Thank you. Do you know, Eniola is confessing here, oh, because for the period where she was writing her book, I'm not sure I really saw comments from
No, I
her
did
about
not.
what she was
I did
about
not.
what she was doing. The community was
Yeah.
together for like close
Yeah.
to 6 months. By the way, Saw is scribes, authors, and writers. For those that will be wondering what is Saw. So it's a community of authors, writers, and scribes, right? Salutes to sorry. Thumbs up to Coach Ugone and Okonkwo. Yes, so she is an author's coach, and she came in and shared some powerful lessons with us as a community. The first was what Eniola mentioned, that having a blueprint and a framework for your book, her framework, right? And the next, I think she also talked about God pushing out messages through authors to the world, and that if you are not sensitive enough to pick yours, God is going to raise another, not another stone now. Yes, God is going to use God is going to use someone else, another vessel, to pass that message across. And that's what Eniola is talking about. That from that time on, she started to feel this holy fear, in the sense that if she doesn't document this story, if she doesn't tell this story, God is going to use another person, another vessel, to tell this story. And that was what pushed her to keep going. She never mentioned, I didn't even know she was writing such a book until she released it and she started telling her story. So it's just an encouragement, right, to me and even to Coach Goni and many others. You don't know what your little steps of faith is doing for somebody on the other end.
Yep.
You might think, because I actually, the community came together, right? Because we wanted to help ourselves to I wanted to help myself to write a book. Ugone came and said she was going to help authors because she had this mandate, authors, scribes, and writers. She had this mandate to really help them so that their work is not shabby and all of that. There's a blueprint and a framework for everything. And then, she came up with the webinars teaching on how to put things together, how to understand your audience, how to ensure that your message is clear to those you are sent to. And your last book is not for everybody. Do you
Yeah.
understand? It's not for your message is not for everybody, because the mistake some people make is that I want to write for everybody. No, your message is not for everybody, and that's why we are all different. The
Mhm.
way you will craft your message, the message that God has given to you, is different from the way someone else, even with that same
Yeah.
niche, would craft, the message. Yes, and that's why we are all different. Nobody is the same. And I keep saying it. I have never met a mere mortal. If anybody decides to, think that they are not extraordinary, it's on them. But trust me, there is no mere mortal anywhere. And that gave her courage to keep pushing.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's a very sensitive book,
Yeah.
right? Because it's not everybody that wants to share this story. I don't even know that her friend that connected her to
Yeah.
Soul Community. I'm just in
Carol.
awe of how a good act of obedience. I just decided I wanted, I needed a community of people to help me push out my own book. See how, how it has helped Eniola to push out her own story, and some other people that I'm going to be interviewing to push out the message that God has given to them. So thank you. Because if you had not put, if you had not executed, we won't be here
Will
today.
not be
Do you
here.
understand? So God bless you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
so I don't know, did you answer the question I asked about faith, or
Neuro.
about
Is this
about
shame? Right.
did you feel shame raising your neurodivergent
Hmm.
children?
Shame. Shame is definitely something that most people on this journey will contend with and will probably continue to contend with. So I would say I had my own fair share. It was more prevalent at the beginning of my journey when I was trying
Okay.
to make sense with my first son, who is the inspiration behind the book. When I was trying to
Yeah.
make sense of everything that was happening with him and just soaking myself with knowledge. So I would definitely say there was shame because I'm based in the United Kingdom right now, but our journey
Yeah.
started from Nigeria. And you know that there
Wow.
are a lot of communities like us in Nigeria that neurodivergence, autism is still very new and very strange.
Yes.
And people have
Yes.
different beliefs, different
Yes.
understanding
Of
of what
course.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say it was quite a chaotic environment. So my own strategy for coping was to just lock myself up, hide away, and look for how to support my children. And I think it worked for a season to stay in hiding.
Mm-hmm.
It worked for a season because it helped me to develop my knowledge and really understand. But
Okay.
in retrospect, I will not encourage staying in hiding. I understand that we are all in different stages of our acceptance journey. Some people have accepted, some people have not accepted, some people are in between.
Yes.
I will not
Yeah.
encourage hiding because one thing that has helped me is I've realized that the shame came from maybe guilt, feeling like maybe I did something wrong. I wrote some of it in this
Mm.
about it in the book. I must have
Okay.
done something wrong for my children to be like this. But what set me free was the
Mm.
reminder that God was the one that created these children. When He created
Yeah.
them, He puts only good in them, and it
Yeah.
is only that good that will come out. There's no part
Yeah.
of the Bible that says
Wow.
autism, that says neurodivergence. So from the moment I caught that revelation, my perspective about the whole thing changed.
Hmm.
I did not see myself as a failure. I
Hmm.
keep seeing the best in my children. I keep seeing the good, and that has been my anchor and will remain my anchor. Of course, there are difficult days, but I'm reminded that it is good that God has put in these children, and it is only that good
Hmm.
I choose to see, and that is what I live to encourage anybody on this journey. If you
Hmm.
have to stay in hiding, fine, but if you are struggling, staying in hiding is not going to help you. You need to
Yes,
depersonalize this journey. It's not about you. God will be glorified, but
yes.
you need to cooperate with him as well. So
Wow.
shame is valid, but don't
Hmm.
stay there.
Wow. 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 I can't even. I'm even short of words. Do you know some things you said that struck me? You said that God has put good in these children, and that is what you choose to see. My goodness, that is a tweetable moment, as in a tweetable sentence, in the sense that some other people would, some other mothers would, like you said, feel that shame and say, how did I, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong that affected these children? What could I have done differently? But you changed your perspective, and that's one thing, the reason why I'm highlighting this point. You changed your perspective, and after that point, every other thing began to fall in place, in the
Yes.
sense that once you changed your perspective, it gave you courage.
Yep.
It gave you that strength to approach the issue differently, to say, yes, we are here now, but what can we do
Mhm.
differently? How can we push
Exactly.
this out? And you said that it is only good that God has put in these children. My God, how many people, pardon me, will say that about neurodivergent children? How many mothers will say that? Even if the mother believes that, yes, God has put good in these children, how about the family? Those that are, trying to support and help. Because um, there's a point where people get to, and their strength sort of fails. They're like, they get tired of the situation, tired of the circumstance they are in, and they just give up, throw in the towel and everything. But once you changed your perspective, it gave you strength. And trust me, if you change your perspective about anything that is happening to you, the rest is history, in the sense that you'll be able to, inner strength will just come from nowhere,
Exactly.
and you will just find yourself excelling at every point in time. And there's this thing that I always say, that there is grace released for every season.
Mm.
For every season you're in, you just need to lay a demand on that grace that is
Grace.
released,
Yeah.
and God Himself will show up for you. So thank you so
Amen.
much for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. Rurala said, it is good that God has put in our children. Absolutely. It is good that God has put in our children. God created our children and put only good in them. Exactly. Thank you so much for sharing. So if you have any questions for Eniola, you can drop them in the comment section. I'm going to just read through. Let me just read through the comments briefly before I take our next question, right? Because a lot of people have said so much. I want them to to really feel be a part of what is happening here. Yes, Urola says, Eniola, she is extraordinary. Yes, I agree with you. Dara says, wow, yes, they're all clapping for you here. They're all clapping for you here. So I pasted a link to her book in the comment section. Let me just do that again. So anyone who wants to, she's still going to give us details about how to get her book, from the from Amazon and seller. Yeah, so let me just head on with these comments. I don't want to miss anything. Okay, don't want to miss anything. Let me see. So Rurala says, God bless everyone. Eniola is always passionate in whatever she commits herself to do. Whatever the odds, I salute your courage and commitment. This is George Grace.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Oh,
mommy, right?
that's mommy. Yeah.
Welcome, mommy. God bless you. God bless you, ma. So Dara says it also shows the faith that you had, that a day will come when your story becomes a testimony. Wow, exactly. Because I was wondering, I was asking how you put in so much intentionality to document your journey. It's not everybody that would have done that, right? And now you can look back and even pick some points for. I bet instrumental while you were writing your book. You must have picked
Very,
so many from
very,
there.
very.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
also,
Thank.
it has supported me raising my second son as well.
Wow. Wow.
That would for help.
She has two boys. My God, Eniola, you're out of. Well, sincerely, like how did you handle all of that? Two boys. God will continue to give you the grace
Amen.
that you need. In
Amen.
Jesus' name. Amen. Okay. So partnering with God, okay. That mandate part, you will just get up and not disappoint Jesus. Yes, that's from there. That story about attending a book launch and it will be what God sent you to write, you ignored. Okay, I think she's talking about not running with the message God has given.
Mm.
Ripple effects. Thank you, Lady Elizabeth, for so. Thank you. Thank God. Oh. Okay, yes, so I think I've covered all of that. God created our children and put only good in them. Yes, I've read that. Okay. Yes, so you can drop your questions if you have any uh in the comment section so that I can take them briefly just before I proceed with other questions. So they are all saying well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Yeah, well done, well done. Okay, so the next question is tell us about your writing process and the role accountability played, which is the soul community, right? In birthing the masterpiece, A Champion Speaks.
Hmm. Where do I start from? The writing process was very emotional
Okay.
because reading those journal notes, the raw emotions that you kind of think you have subdued just came up
Yeah.
on. And because I immersed myself completely in the process, completely. I
Okay.
could not sleep. I was constantly, I had a schedule because I kind of put myself on a deadline that I needed to accomplish it by so time. So
Okay.
that
Okay.
meant that I had to work extra hard to get everything ready and to learn all the different elements of what it
Yeah.
would take to publish a book of
Okay.
such magnitude. So I learned a lot. I was researching, my apart from the journal notes, I was researching to really understand the space that this book was going to fill and all that
Yeah.
because I was also dealing with imposter syndrome because most of the books that I read are like from professionals and some people
Mm,
that also had manuals, but I wanted to do something different, to have a memoir and also have an
okay.
element that also gives guidance to parents as well, and carers.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of work for me, but we are here now. So I'm grateful that that work paid off.
Yeah.
But in terms of the accountability, I will say that the SAW community, in fact, that WhatsApp group, that
Yeah.
poll that you guys did, that we used to
Oh,
set, another
yes.
holy fear that, hey, God, I need to have something to report to by the next time this poll comes up. So that thing, as trivial as it sounds, it really kept
Yes.
me. And also
Wow.
seeing other people announce their book that they are published, they are at this stage, it really
Yeah.
encouraged me to keep going. And I think you guys just need to continue to do what you are doing. It's working.
Thank
There are a lot of silent people at the background, like myself. You might not know
you.
what we are doing, but we are just doing it. Then another thing that helps in terms of accountability. Funny enough, I
Yeah.
have a group of sisters. We call ourselves the accountability sisters, which
Yeah.
is quite interesting. Which is my sister Urala and Lola. The four of us we form the accountability sisters. So on the days that I wanted to give up by the sheer magnitude of the work,
Yeah.
they just did not let me give up.
Wow.
They just did not let me give up. They kept on encouraging me. They kept encouraging me, just like what my mom was saying, like, I don't know you to give up. So that was really the
Yes.
fuel
Wow.
that I used to
Hmm.
push myself to get this thing out.
Yes.
And I'm grateful that it all worked out. And I'm really grateful for the impact that the book is having already. I'm really grateful. And I know it can only get better. So
Yes.
that's really my my process. It was a very, very, it felt like, what's so funny was that it felt like years, had condensed years into three
Wow.
months. It just felt like things that would
Yes.
take some people.
Yes.
So it took a lot for me, a lot of learning, a lot of relearning, a lot of, but I'm grateful. God, and I think God really sent wonderful people my way, people that were going to help with the websites. They just understood the vision, even when I wasn't even clear on what I wanted. The person doing the book design, everybody, they were all just in alignment. So that
Wow.
really, really, really helped. And I'm grateful for that process.
Wow. 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 Do you know what I hear? Like accountability, a miracle circle. DTK calls it a miracle. That's your accountability group,
Mm.
is your miracle circle. Thank you so much. Urola, for holding Eniola's hand. As in, I know how difficult it can get when you know there's a huge task ahead of you and you just need to accomplish it, and you're like, anything that stands in my way, I'm going to run you over. Like, I just want to get this thing done. The power of accountability. Some people don't really take it seriously. They just feel, I can power through this thing, this goal that I've set, and I'm really going to, get it done. I'm somebody that I'm a self-starter,
Mm,
right? But at some point, when the journey gets tough,
mm.
some people can give up,
Give up.
lose hope,
Yeah.
and just throw in the towel and say, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm tired. I think I'm done. But when you have a miracle circle, an accountability partner or partners, people who help you, they're like this. It just gives you that fire that you need,
Totally.
especially when you are down, when you're like, I don't have strength to do this anymore. And
Yes.
that's what Eniola has done. I know it's one thing to have a circle, it's one thing to belong to a circle or to be a part of an accountability group, a miracle circle. It's another thing to submit to
Mm,
accountability. Because some people might say, well, I don't really need to do this. I think I'm my own boss. I can get things done when I want to, you know. But you submitting to accountability too is a sign of leadership. Like, you're leading yourself to say, okay, yes, because there's something Dr. Cindy Trim said at some point in time. She was like, who holds you accountable to your
mm.
dreams? You say you don't have a coach, a mentor, or somebody that you report to. So who holds you accountable to your dreams?
Definitely.
And there's this community that I belong to, the Intentional Parents Academy. It's for parents who want to raise godly children, who want to be a parenting advantage to their children. And there's something Coach Wendy, that's her name. There's something she always says, that if you don't, if you find somebody that does not submit to accountability, that person is headed for destruction.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, because it's just going to take one season in their lives, or something just happens and they just flip, and that's the end. But you knowing that there's somebody I report to, there's somebody that would be waiting for me on the other side
Yeah.
to hear this story, my story of grit, courage, and strength, my triumph story.
Sorry.
It just keeps you, going, it keeps you moving, it keeps you running like somebody that is I don't know, like a gazelle. Yes, it just
Yes,
keeps you moving.
exactly.
You're like, I just have to get this thing done. Anything that stands in my way, I will run you over. Yes, so in fact, so many powerful. I'm learning a lot too. I'm interviewing Eniola here, but trust me, the things that she has said today, I'm not going to recover from them. Thank you so much.
You're
She said
welcome.
that it was an emotional journey for her, and I might not fully understand, but I know what it's like to be a mother, sharing very deep secrets about some things that you had to triumph, right? And she also said that she knew she set a deadline for herself, and she kept at it, and she submitted herself to accountability, her miracle circle. Yes,
Yeah.
her miracle circle.
We're
And
changing
there's
our
this.
name to Miracle Circle. Lola, blessing, hurrah. Miracle Circle.
Okay, you can go ahead. And the soul community, we used to drop polls every day to ask those that have written in their manuscript. In fact, somebody said that those polls were too many, like the frequency was too, was too much and everything. But it helps me as well, because when you know that there's a poll I'm going to fill at the end of
Yeah,
the day, you will put in the work. No matter what happens, you will put in the work.
I
Trust
agree.
me, it works. It works. So I hear you loud and clear. You know, I hear you loud and clear. Thank you so much for sharing with us. So let's just let me move on to, I think I've asked you the question about, yes. So two more questions before you tell us about, how to find you, the next steps for you, and how people can get your books as well. So let me just read some comments quickly, so that they are also, they know which they are part of this. Okay. Okay, Urala says she holds my hand daily. Wow. Glory be to God. This is from Thrive Much More. Glory be to God. She is in every aspect of this journey. Annie is not one to throw in the towel at all. I hail you, sis. Well done. Well done, well done. So someone else says, Glory be to God. She's in every as okay, I've read that. I've read that. Teal Garment says, I keep talking about your strength. It's remarkable. I'm sure Annie keeps that accountability group accountable. So you're the one leading that group. Okay, okay, okay. It's by Grace now says, welcome sis. Staying accountable is very instrumental to growth. Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes.
So you're free to change your name to Miracle Circle. Is that okay? Okay. So the next question is, who did you become when you began to write this book? Did it change you? Because I think people need to hear this. They say when God sends you on an assignment, sorry to interrupt you there. When God sends you on an assignment, it's not because you're the most qualified person for that assignment, but it's because God wants to take you through a process of growth. There's a person He's seen on the other side that would emerge if you submit yourself to obeying God, running through with that assignment that He has given to you. And that's why I'm asking this question, because writing a book takes a lot from you, and there's a person you become on the other side. So I want you to share that with us. Who did you become when you began to write this book? Did it change you?
Okay. First of all, one of the videos, you can tell that I really soaked in those videos from Coach Ugo.
Yes,
One of the things she
yes,
said was that a book changes you. When she
yes.
said that thing, I just held it. I was like, oh, yes, it will change. But I
Wow.
did not understand what that meant until now. You
Hmm.
know, A Champion Speaks has really changed me. When I was
Wow.
writing the book, everybody that knows me knows I love my sleep. I don't joke with my sleep. But for those months, I was I was not sleeping. My sleeping pattern changed. In my mind, I was like, oh, by the time I push this book out, my sleeping pattern will change. No, my sleeping
Go back
pattern is still,
to
and it's just I just wake up at early hours trying to just focus. And it's at that time when I do my meditation, my prayer and everything that the ideas come in. So definitely it has changed me. When when I was thinking about, how it is when you're praying.
yes.
I remember when I crossed into my 40th year. I'm 41 now,
Wow.
and I was praying intently for purpose and things like that. I just always knew at the back of my mind that my purpose had to do with my children. I did not understand what that meant until now, because
Hmm.
before this
That
idea
was,
of the book came in,
I said that
I had
was God to
yeah, that
you.
was really, I just did not know. It just was not clear. It has just become
Yeah.
clearer as I was going, on my journey. And I
Okay.
remember very well that one of the things I thought of, even before the idea of the book came, was I want to set up a community. Basically, what I'm doing right now, I want to set up a
Wow.
community to help people. But it sounded too big. I was like, where am I going to start from? I just
Yeah.
abandoned it. I'm sure God was just looking at me that this one, I will still set you up. So when the
Yeah.
book started and I was writing, then that whole community idea came back to me.
Okay.
And I just knew that I had to mirror both of them together. So, in a way, A Champion Speak has birthed a community called Thriving Beyond the Label,
Wow.
which is what you read
Wow.
in the bio. At the
Wow.
time when I just had the idea, it was about, setting up, creating a safe space. I just wanted to do something small. Nobody would know about us. We'll just be in our own corner, but the whole vision has changed, and our mission right now, beyond providing support for parents, is to facilitate dialogue between
Okay.
parents and those that provide services to our children, because there's a big knowledge
Wow.
gap. And I
Yeah.
say this in my book, that the success that we've seen in my children, in my son, did not come because we were doing something right in my family. It was because
Wow.
all the professionals, all the caregivers, everybody, the healthcare team, everybody that worked with us, we worked in partnership. That is the only
Okay.
way we can thrive. That is the only way our
Yes.
children can thrive, where all the different
Yes.
professionals and services are working together. So that is the
Yes.
vision of the community, to bring
Wow.
opportunities where all these people can come and share their knowledge. The parents will be able to tell you what they want. The professionals will
Mm.
listen to the parents. So it's a dialogue where
Yes.
everybody is sharing knowledge, where there is a gap in expectation, all that is clarified. And that is really
Yes.
the essence of what the Traveling Beyond the Label community and the events that we're going to be facilitating going forward. I spent
Okay.
over half of my life developing myself in my IT career.
Wow.
And in the past 4 months, the kind of change that has happened to me in the past 4 months,
Mm.
it's not a human being that can do it. There has to be, and I'm just grateful for the privilege to be on this
Wow.
journey. I'm learning so much. I'm soaking myself. God is bringing partners
People.
around me.
Yeah.
I don't think I've even scratched the surface of what's going to happen. But all
Yes.
that started from the decision to write a book. So a book
Wow.
can change your life. I'm a living
Wow.
witness.
Wow. I hear clarity, right? Because when you started, you didn't really know, you just wanted to write a book. But now you've been able to release your book, you've been able to write and release your book, you've been able to launch a community, and you now understand what the community is meant to do.
Yes.
As in, please just give her flowers, because honestly, to have achieved all of this in 4 months, just and in fact, this thing is on a platter of gold, because the community is not, as in, she didn't pay to enter that community.
No.
And she has been able to get, a lot of people, sometimes you just see free things and you're like, there's nothing here, there's nothing here. Do you understand? But because she believes that there has to be something here, and a friend of hers recommended the community, and she just decided to take it in good faith, and she ran with it. She got clarity, she was able to write her book, she has been able to launch her community, thriving beyond the label. She has been able to understand the mandate of the community, in the sense that they're supposed to be in partnership, with professionals and parents, so that they know they are not alone. Sometimes people go through things, and the devil comes with the idea that you need to isolate yourself, but we were not built or designed to, thrive in isolation.
Yeah.
And that's what Eniola has brought, a community that would help mothers navigate this season.
Mm.
My God, if she had not said yes to this dream, all these things would
No.
not have been, it would not have seen the light of day. But because she said yes, the universe said yes, because you decided, I'm going to bring you all, and that's what clarity does. Once you're clear about your goal, what you want to do, the universe is like, yes, I have the perfect signals now. Just sit down, relax, do the work you need to do, and I'm going to bring in all the resources that you need to partner with you, to help you. Did you hear what she said? She said that the people that helped her, work on the website, the sales page, the book cover, everything, even the professionals, those helping her with her community, she didn't know how all of them just came up, gravitated towards her, had the inspiration to, really what's the word? Really use the right words to share the message that she had deep inside her heart. Is it not God? She said yes, and every other thing fell in line.
Yeah.
Congratulations. God bless you. I will continue to say
God
this,
bless you.
because the mothers that are going to benefit from this,
Mm.
you will still come back someday to say, as in you'll be grateful to God that you said yes in 2024,
Yes.
right? So, last and final question. I don't think anybody has any questions here. Just need to power up my device here. So, where can we find your book, and how can viewers support you? How can
Okay.
we find your
Oh,
book? It's a Hydra-headed question. Where can we find your book? How can viewers support you? What is next? And do you have any upcoming events? Do
okay.
you want me to take it away?
Okay. Don't worry. I
Okay.
think I got it. If I miss
Okay.
out
Okay.
anything, just call me back to it. So
Okay.
my book is available. I think that was one thing I was very intentional because of the message that I was carrying. I really wanted it to get to as far as possible. So it's available on all
Yeah.
Amazon platforms. It's both in paperback and on the seller platform. Nigeria has a very special place in my heart. I'm still trying to see how I'm trying to partner with some more bookstores in Nigeria. So I would put that on our IG page, A Champion Speaks.
Okay.
So in terms of what we are doing next, the community is definitely where the book and everything is going towards, because we have an event lined up for the on the 15th of February. That was
Okay.
initially supposed to be the physical book launch, because I did a pre-book launch in December. But
Okay.
that event has been repurposed into a community event, which is going to bring, which is definitely what I just said, creating a
Okay.
space
Okay.
where professionals and carers and everybody is going to be in my city in Cambridge. It's a physical event. We'll do our best to
Okay.
stream it online on our YouTube channel, The Champion Speaks. So that is
Okay.
what's those are the kind of events that we're looking at the community will continue to do on the Facebook, on the this will have a public side and a private side. We have a private WhatsApp group, and we
Oh,
encourage parents that need help, those that regardless of where you are in your journey,
yeah.
that the community is a very intimate community. There's no question that is out of bounds. I encourage parents and carers to join. All the information is on the A Champion Speaks website on how to join. And I'm just grateful for the privilege to do this. My heart is really full. And I also want to say that some days are better than others. We don't want to, I don't ever want to be that kind of person where I don't tell the full story. I did not
Okay.
get here overnight. I mean, my first
Yeah.
son is 10, my second son is 6. It took me a while to
Wow.
get here.
Wow.
But now that I'm here, oh, I'm just going.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
going. And
Yes.
I'm so encouraged by the positive reviews I've received. I've received some reviews from those that have already bought the book, and I know there's
Wow.
so much more to come. And I'm also
Wow.
very grateful for the opportunity to be able to put spotlight on such a sensitive issue, especially from
Yes.
the community that we come from. I'm grateful for
Yeah.
that opportunity, and I do not take it for granted. And so that's really that's what it is. So I'm on a new path. I'll call it
Mm-hmm.
like a special needs advocate and a parental empowerment. So
Okay.
that is the path I'm on right now, trusting God for the right destiny helpers. God has brought wonderful people so far, and I know that He'll continue to bring people. So I encourage everyone out there, if you want to write a book, you better join the Soul community this year. I'm here to share my story, because
Wow.
I listened, and I asked for help,
You
and help came.
put in the work.
And I put in the work, and God magnified
Yes.
it, and it can
Yes.
only get better. So all the
Exactly.
information we need is on thechampionspeaks.com. Reach out to me, reach
Okay.
out, to the community, signpost people to the community, and be kind to people. People are going through a lot. People on this journey, we are very sensitive to those that are
Yeah.
kind to us. So let's just be kind as we go, and God will continue to help us all on our respective journeys. Thank you.
Amen. Amen. Wow. You said so much. So I'm trying to drop the link to your website,
Okay.
but I think that is I'll do that in a bit. But let me just mommy dropped it so I want to read it. She says your abiding faith in God is an added advantage. I you have to identify your purpose. This ministry will grow. God has set you on the right path and He will grant you favor and wisdom to excel in Jesus' name.
Amen.
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 Amen. Special needs advocate. Special needs advocate. Yeah, that's what tribes. Okay, that's your community, right? Thrive
No,
much more.
like no, the tribe much more is another group that is working with us. That is our community partner.
Okay,
Thriving
okay.
together. Yes, that's our community partner, headed by Blessing, who is part of our accountability sisters. So God
Oh,
is just has just
so
intertwined all of us, like
you're surrounded. When they say
surrounded.
you're surrounded,
Yes.
and
Yes,
wow, wow, wow.
that's another community that believes, and that community has a that testimony is for another day, because it was a
Yeah.
talk show that I did for that. That was how I met Blessing, the leader
Oh,
of Tribe Much More. She
wow,
invited me for a talk show on purpose, and that was when I
wow.
said that I sensed that my purpose is towards my children, and it just felt like
Oh,
from the moment that statement left my mouth, things just started
yeah,
to align. So
wow,
she's a very big part of this journey.
wow, wow, wow. You're surrounded, though, like you're blessed.
I'm
Sincerely,
blessed.
thank you, Dara. Dara just dropped the link to the SOC community. God bless you. Like you shared so much within 1 hour. I have to come back to this video. Please, you know where to find her. Go to a champion page and you get details on how to connect with the audacious, that's your new name, audacious, and you said it takes courage to do all of this. It takes courage to do all of this. Thank you so much. I don't see any questions here.
Thank you
If you
so
have any
much.
questions, let me just give yes, Gripped by Grace says the power of community.
Yes.
Absolutely, the power of community. Thrive much more. Thank you, Blessing. All glory to God for the alignment. Thank you, sisters, for supporting Eniola. You don't understand how much you have helped her to help. It's like a chain
Yes.
reaction. You have helped her to help other mothers. You will not believe, and it's when the community is
Yeah.
fully,
Yeah.
in it's fully started that you will understand. That's when you begin to understand the magnitude of what you've done.
Yeah.
Just a simple yes in obedience to God, and you will see the massive,
Yeah.
explosion that God is going to give that community. The sense that you're bringing knowledge, as in knowledge is they say knowledge is power, but sometimes when you just know that I'm not alone, there's
Mm.
somebody that walked
Yes.
this path, that
Belonging.
alone,
Yes.
if you had too much burden and pain,
Yes.
that alone like crushes it by 50%, because you just know, if I need help, I can just meet this person, and I know she's not in it for the fun of it, right? Because it's a journey that she has navigated.
Important.
So I would get all the help or assistance, knowledge that I need. Like, I don't have to struggle alone. Can you imagine what that does? Even to a struggling mother alone, that
Yeah.
is enough strength
Right.
and courage to just, keep her
Yeah.
moving, fire beneath her wings. She says that she can thrive. Neurodivergent children, God has put good in these children. I'm going
Amen.
to run with that. God has put good in these
Yeah.
children, and it is only good
That will
that
come.
we will see. And as you begin to confess that, as you begin to say it, it becomes
It,
your reality.
that's it.
So if you're a mother raising a neurodivergent child, trust me, look for Eniola, because it's not been to have raised a child that is 10. She has a son that is 10, her second son is 6. Is enough, well, is enough blessing to raise one neurodivergent child, but two
That's it.
is not a walk in the park.
It's
Trust me, it's not a
okay.
walk in the park. Thank you for your time. Yes, thank you for your time, Eniola, audacious Eniola. All glory to God for the alignment. Groups by Grace says the power of community. I'm just reading the comments here before we wrap up. I think I have three more to go. 3 more to go. Courage and strength. Teal garment is courage and strength all embodied in one beauty. Yes, and she's so beautiful. Absolutely, you're not alone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, do you have final words for
Fi-
your audience?
Final words. I just want to thank you, Elizabeth. I want to thank the whole SOC community. I want to thank Coach Ugo as well.
Yes,
Um, just
you're
just so that
welcome.
she knows that the work that she did is impacting people, and I know many people are going to come. I want to thank everybody that has joined and everybody
Yeah,
that will watch, this video. I'm so grateful, and I encourage you, don't silence that voice. Whatever it asks you to do, do it.
yeah.
Your life can change if you obey.
Yes, yes. You can see that her life has changed. As in her smile, she has been able to get clarity on the next step.
Yes,
And it was as she moved and obeyed,
yes,
things became clearer.
yes,
Things became clearer.
yes,
Let me use the example of the Bible in the story of Moses and the Israelites, right? You recall that at every point in time when they had a challenge and Moses went to God, God will now give him instructions and directions on what to do. You were supposed to spend how many days in that wilderness, but they ended up spending 40 days. But at every point in time, there was a solution for the problem that they
that's
had.
it.
So if you don't take one step, the next step will not be
True.
clear. After Moses died and Joshua was to take up, the mandate of leading the Israelites to the promised land, it was when he obeyed God, took the first step, the next step became clearer.
That's it.
Took the next step, the next step. So it's not a God, like God not give you the full picture at once. He can give the full picture when there's a blueprint, a
Yep.
strategy he wants to unveil. But sometimes God also wants to build you and grow you as you take that step of faith, one step after the other. Recall that what made Saul fall was his disobedience.
Mm.
God told him, do this, destroy the Amalekites. But Saul decided to, well, maybe he wanted to please some other people, and that was the beginning of his downfall.
Mm.
So God is very mindful of people who would obey him
Yeah.
every step of the way. Once you take that step of faith, that first step of faith,
Yeah.
the path becomes
Yeah.
clearer as you move.
That's
The
it.
journey of 1,000 miles begins in a step.
That's it.
So you just have to take one step at a
It
time. And the power of accountability, the power of community, power of having a miracle circle, people that can help you, people that can hold your hand, people that can help you change your
Yeah.
perspective and help bring out that part of you,
Yeah.
that greatness that is inside of you that you've not even seen
Yeah.
yourself. So God bless you,
God
Eniola.
bless you
Thank
too.
you so much
Thank
for
you for having me. Thank you all for
you're
joining. Thank you.
welcome. Your children, your family. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
mommy,
Joey.
for helping her. Thank you to your husband.
Thank
Thank
you.
you to everyone, your miracle circle, your friends for holding your hand.
Thank you.
Thank you, so community. I'm a part of that community as
Yes.
well. Everybody is benefiting from,
Thank you all.
my obedience. But God is faithful. God will continue to help us. Thank you,
Amen.
Coach Uche. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Let me just call their names quickly. Try Much More, Till Garments, Wurola Eniton, Mommy,